This is the Spring 2017 PARCC Test Administrators Walkthrough video. What you're looking at are going to be your responsibilities for the days that we are testing PARCC. Not much has changed from last year. You are still going to receive your testing materials with student testing tickets from me. They'll need those to log in. And on the day of testing as the administrator, you are responsible for logging into the PARCC website, confirming that the test sessions have been prepared, start test sessions, unlocking the correct units that the students are supposed to be testing on, locking the unit for absent students, and resuming any students who need to be resumed. So going to the live PARCC website, the URL is nj.pearsonaccessnext.com. But for the purposes of this video, we're going to be using the training website, which is exactly the same as the live site. So when you log into PARCC, this is the screen that you will see. You are going to go to Students in Sessions. Everything that you will need to do as a test administrator will be done from the Students in Sessions area. It looks just a little bit different than last year. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to select the Add a Session button, and you're going to type in your last name, which will bring up the PARCC sessions that you are responsible for administering. You can see that I have a 5th grade English as well as a 6th grade math session. Let's take a look at this English one first. Once the session loads, you'll be able to scroll down and see student information as well as the status of the units. Don't forget that you can change how many students you can see at one time, so you can get them all on one page. If we jump back to the checklist, you'll see that one of the things that a test administrator is responsible for that is new this year is that they are to confirm test sessions have been prepared. What that means is you may see a prepare session button here. Preparing sessions is something I'm going to do the day before testing starts, but in the event that you see this blue prepare session button, just let me know and I will go in and take care of it for you. What you'll likely see is the start session button. When you're ready, you can go ahead and click the start session button. Students can't begin testing until you unlock the unit for them. You can only unlock one unit at a time. To unlock a unit for an entire class, you're just going to come up here and you're going to slide over to the unlocked picture, and you'll notice that all of our students down in the bottom are now able to log into Unit 1. If you have an absent student, you'll want to navigate down to this area and you will want to lock that unit for them. Now that we've unlocked Unit 1 for students, let's take a look at the student view. It seems that this year Pearson has taken away my ability to show you a student test, which means I can't show you how to resume a student. But luckily, the process is exactly the same as last year, so I'm going to include that part of the video that I made last year. So know that the way that you exit a student, the way that you resume a student, and the student tools are exactly the same as last year. So the student will hit start, and you'll see that the browser is going to go into lockdown mode. You'll notice that they cannot exit any other way but sign out. They can't navigate to any other websites or anything like that. Students will be able to hit Start Test Now. And this part pretty much looks the same as last year. Students can review questions. They can bookmark questions to come back to later. They have the notepad. They have the answer eliminator. Over here they have the magnifying glass. And they have the show line reader, which allows them to kind of read one line at a time. So these are features that any student can have. That's where they are. So let's say the student is taking the test and they are done and they exit, or the computer crashes, or they have to go to the bathroom, whatever the case may be. Let's say that your student signs out of TestNav. Just like last year, we're going to have to resume a student's test. So while this is exiting, we'll come back over here to the teacher view. I'm going to hit the refresh button, and if you're looking at this bar area up top, you'll see that we have one student exited, right? Because we have gray means ready, green means they're actively taking the test. That means they're in a section taking the test. Exited means that they have exited a section for whatever reason that they're done. And so if I scroll down, we can see clearly that this student isn't exited. Well, let's say they went to the bathroom. Let's say that their computer crashed. If I just have to resume one student's test, I can click on the down arrow and I can click resume. and that student will be automatically able to log in again, and it changes to a yellow resume up here. If I have to resume more than one student, the easiest way to do that is to either select each individual student that needs to get resumed, or if I need to resume all my students, I can click this checkbox up here. It's going to select all of the students in a session, and I want to come up here to the task area, and I'm going to select the Resume Students button from the drop-down menu, hit Start, and then it'll show me all of the students that I've selected. And what I can do is I can click the checkbox above the unit that I want to resume, and then hit the Resume button, and all of the students will then be resumed. If you see resumed or resumed upload, they're basically the same thing. What happens is when the kid is taking the test on their computer, a copy of it is saved on the computer, and sometimes that copy of the test needs to be uploaded to the server, so that way they don't lose any answers or anything like that. So resume and resume upload are basically the same thing as far as the test administrator is concerned. So we're back in 2017 to wrap up the video. Once all students have completed a unit, you can come back to the top here and slide to the lock position. And when you're ready to unlock the next unit, you just go ahead and slide to the unlock position. Just remember, you can only have one unit going at a time. Finally, just to talk about troubleshooting, most of the errors that we face during PARCC can be fixed by either hitting this refresh button. For both the teacher and the student has a refresh button. If the refresh button doesn't solve the problem, you can log out and then log back in. Again, that's for teacher and the student. And finally, if the problem persists, restart the computer. Those have fixed almost all of the problems that we've had. In the event that that doesn't fix the problems, let me know. We'll be out in the hallway to support you. We'll jump back over to the checklist. We talked about receiving our testing materials with student testing ticket. We saw how to log in. We confirmed that sessions have been prepared. We learned how to start sessions, unlock the units, lock unit for absent students, resume students if we need to. The one thing here, it says ensure students have submitted completed test units. That's something that I'm going to take care of at the district level. So all of your students will remain in red exited status. I will put them into blue completed status from my district panel. Otherwise, just make sure that you follow the instructions in the manuals that we've provided for you, and make sure you keep testing time on the board. I will come around and collect the testing materials at the end of the day, and that really takes care of everything. So let's have a great PARCC, and may the PARCC be with you.